Hello. I can't see very well because I don't have my glasses on, but this is the second time I've filmed this. The first time there was such a glare from my glasses, and if I can turn this a little, I'll get there we go. I promise you, this setup is better. My dogs are outside. Okay, we should be good. I didn't do anything that way today. Maybe that's a little better. Okay. This is going to be all about cross stitch today. I might at the very end, because some people were interested in my baskets, I'll just show you that my knob came in and my little button came in for the small Nantucket I made this year at my basket workshop. So I will show that at the very end, but it's all going to be cross stitch. And I'm going to talk about the needlework, the Nashville Needlework Market that I went to with my shop owner friend. I'm sorry if I sound a little clogged up. I woke up with a bit of a sore throat today, so kind of a bad sleeping night. I guess I'm getting a cold. So, where to start? I may have to put my glasses on and off. For the first time, I'm not a journaler, and I'm not one of those. I really am interested in the different ways that people keep track of their stitching. I love these people who have the other side of the brain and are so organized and know exactly what they're doing from day to day. I'm just not that kind of person. I never have been. And it's okay because there's all kinds of different stitchers around. But it did make me start when I see people who keep better track of their stitching, and they do the rotations, and now of course I'm doing several stitch alongs, so I have to kind of keep that in mind. It does make me wonder how much time I spend on each project. And so about a month ago, I went to a new internist. We had to change our insurance for the first time ever to an HMO. I had to leave my doctor of 35 years because we are self-employed and the insurance was ridiculous. If you have good insurance, that, especially from an employer, that's awesome. If you don't have insurance, I feel sorry. I feel bad about that. Ours is just extremely high. We have it, but it's extremely high. And we're not a startup, but we've been in business 6 or 7 years, so we're still, trying to get along there with home repair and restoration. That's what my husband and I own, and he runs it. I tried to briefly run cleaning service. Haha, that didn't work. But this is not about cross stitch, is it? So, cross stitch. I started on February 11th and started writing down my headache journal, and at the same time, because my new internist thought that I should go to a neurologist because of my headaches. They're pretty frequent. They're not usually migraines. If you suffer a lot of migraines, I can really empathize with you. I get a really bad sick headache maybe 4 or 5 times a year. All the women in my family do. So anyway, I was writing my migraine journal, and I thought, well, I'll just do a stitching. I'll write down my stitching and whether or not I have, not migraines, headaches. And so that helped. I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And I discovered that I'm a rotational stitcher, but I'm an undisciplined rotational stitcher in that I just switch back and forth all the time, which is probably, and I switch back and forth with my other crafts that I'm into. That's just how I operate, and I have got to get some things finished. The worst problem is I get excited about projects and I just move on and start something new that I'm excited about instead of finishing, as we sometimes do. But I started this back in February, and I think this was before my last Flosstube, but I started with this guy, and I actually ended with him too a couple days ago. I worked on him at the Needlework Market when I had some time. I worked on him in the car. I'm really a good car stitcher. I can stitch for hours and hours and hours. So that's why, and I love to drive, but I'd always rather be a passenger so I can stitch. Okay, so this is my Santa. You saw him in my first Flosstube, and since then, I have tried to hold him with my chin. I've finished all of his coat, and I'm working on crossing the second cross of this crossing. This, I don't think this is only half crossed on his beard too. So I had a little trouble down in here. I got off like somehow I was coming down, and then I got bored, and I guess I started going up, and something didn't match, so I had to take a bunch out, then I had to come on down, and then something didn't match, and I had to take a little bit more out, and you know how it goes. But I did finish it. This is done with 4 strands of floss. It's on 10 count. This is a nice soft linen something. I don't know what they call this, but it is 10 count. And it's going to be a pillow. And this is the one that I told you about. Let's see, where's my pattern? It was this pattern, Homespun Elegance. I got it off Etsy. Let me take it out of here. I've been using these folders. I actually got a pack of these at Goodwill, and they were cheap. And then, of course, I had more projects than the 4 or 5. Plus, I gave a few to my sister for her knitting. And I went to Staples, and the Staples brand looks like this, and you can put this in the front. So here's your pattern, and then you can fill up your pages. I get the one that has 12, and I think I paid $4.99 for this. These are awesome. I love this. It's so organized. I have to say that I'm not going to show you this pattern, but it's about, I think it was 12 pages. I got a couple extras I got 1 extra in the back, so whatever that makes it, 12 or 14, that'll easily fit in there. And, okay, so, I was going to take this out. Sorry, I woke up early, and then I went back to bed early. Here it is. It was the one that has this cute little thing on it that says, gifts to you. Now I'm going to have to read. Gifts to you, samplers to stitch, sweaters to knit, rugs to hook, and it says quilts to piece. I'm going to change that to baskets to weave. Yay! Perfect for me. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I make a copy of my pattern, and I use different colored highlighters, 4 different colors, 4 or 5 different colors, and I just mark, and I'm pretty random with that too. I just grab a color and I mark. So like the Santa's coat may have 4 colors in it. I'm just marking off the rows that I've stitched. Helps me keep my place. I'm not a thread gritter. Occasionally, on these bigger projects, I will do a thread, and I got that red, and I don't know if I mentioned that before. It's like a red fishing line. It's like a roll of it. I believe I got it from Nordic Needle, and I just like it because you can easily thread it through there, and it's slippery. It's easy to pull out. It's easy to clip. Down if it's getting in your way here and you want to still keep it down here, you can clip it and go ahead and stitch on. That helps me a lot with my my reproduction sampler that I'm working on. I'll show you how far I got on that. But anyway, so Santa was the first one. that might get finished soon. It's easy, you know, when you're stitching those big areas, all you're doing is going back over your half stitch, and that's an easy, really easy thing to do in the car. The next thing I worked on was, and each one of these I worked on for a couple of days. Next one I worked on was this BBD Blackbird Bittersweet September. All I did since you saw it was across here. This is a pretty little pattern, isn't it? It's just, you know, crosses, and then in the middle it's like satin stitches a little apart like this. It's so pretty with the Gentle Arts floss making slight variations in the colors. I love that. And okay, next was Sampler Guild homework. Our Sampler Guild met on February 19th, and we have been doing a little stitch primer. This is our stitch primer. I think I can show you this because, I mean, we're just, somebody in our group just, this isn't published or anything, it's just somebody's handing it out. We're just learning these stitches, and we work on, they give us about one a month. They supply, our guild supplied us with the fabric, little piece of fabric, and we each got to pick out a skein of DMC floss that we wanted to use. And here is mine. I could have done better on the queen stitch. I think it's supposed to have a hole like that one. This is 4 queen stitches together to make that big diamond. And see, these don't have a hole, but this is me being really picky. And I think this was supposed to be as deep as this, but it's a little confusing to read the directions. Sometimes she means a square is 2, and sometimes she means a square is 1. It's slightly confusing, but they're trying to teach, you know, about 30 or so of us at the same time, probably 30 or 40 of us at the same time. We have big long tables, and so, you know, sometimes you have to take it home and work on it, and I'm happy enough with it. I'm enjoying doing these different stitches. And the next one is Montenegrin. That's the next one that we're going to learn after we have a retreat in March, and then April we'll learn Montenegrin stitch. And whoever finishes the whole thing, we get a beautiful prize. Oh, I'm sorry, I got my glasses on. I forgot. See, I forget. But anyway, okay, they're on again. Next, I worked on the Snowflower Diaries. I was working on March. I put this on my Facebook as my cover photo for at the beginning of each month. So here it is. I did finish it. Got it there for the 1st of March. Oops, I'm going to pull this up. I got to get the coffee out of the way before I have a mess. Here we go. There it is. I love it. And this is, there they are together. I'm doing 4 across, so April's going to go right there. So it'll be 4 across and 3 down. And many people have done this free stitch along. You can go on Facebook and sign up for it and continue doing it. They did it in 2016, but I'm doing it in 2017. A lot of people are. It's 1/1, and I'm pretty sure this is 28 count. It's a piece that I had in my stash, and I'm using DMC. And I've changed. I changed a couple of the colors because I went. Actually, I may have only changed one, and it was on this, because there's little like triangles in there in that grass, and I kind of wanted them to show a little better, so I did change it a little bit darker. Okay, next I worked on this one, my exemplary sampler that I don't know if y'all remember, but I got it for $4, the whole entire kit, fabric, everything, many years ago at a flea market, an outdoor flea market, and I was happy to get it, but I had never done anything like that. I had done the old-fashioned Ada stitching, and so I didn't pick it up for a while, and last year I've really gone, really done a lot on this. But it doesn't look like it, does it? Because I move around so much. Okay, then I promise I'm going to do more on that. Then on February 25th, I started His Eyes on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. And I had gotten some Millennium frames, and I got the Aristo stand, which I'll show you. The Eyes on the Sparrow is a big project, a great big one. And so is Death by Cross Stitch, so is Prairie Schooler ABC. I want to do all those, so I got the 36-inch Millennium frame. And I'm actually should now very soon, it's been on order since July, should be getting my floor stand, which is really going to help with the 36-inch frame, even though I'm kind of trying to do it in my lap. It's not very easy. But this is the Aristo Millennium lap stand, or table stand. Let's see. I'm going to hold it up, okay? Because I'm scared to move I really don't want to jiggle everything this time like I did last time on y'all. Okay, so this can tilt. You can tilt these. You can, let me get this is a lock scroll. I think I may have told you that I am usually look at that. That works really well in there. I have a small Millennium frame too, but the lock scroll basically works the same way as the Millennium frame. And this, you can slide this in and out. Look at that on there easily. Let me take this off and show you. You can slide it and lock it in so that it'll hold bigger frames. I like that. And I enjoy using it. And it is well made. So that is that. Stick it back there. And this is the 36-inch frame, and I made the cover, and I made this up, but basically I just wanted a cover that I would be able to cover this whole thing, because I know I'm going to be doing big projects and I don't want them to get messed up. And I just wanted to snap it off instead of pulling it out of a bag that like you put a pillowcase type bag over it. I just wanted to snap the top off. I got the fabric, I got fabric on sale at Joann's, and I think it's good to, what I wanted to do was, instead of getting like the least expensive fabric, I wanted to get the nice fine weave cotton, 100% cotton, more expensive fabric on, I think I got 40% off. I got this that I haven't used yet, 60% off. And it's so soft and fine weave. I like these. So if you can, find that sale, then you're paying the same price for better cotton. And this is, of course, in the quilting cotton. And I had this from my thrifting. I have a big long roll of liner cotton, this ecru. So I just did it, stitched it together inside, turned it right side out, stitched it inside out, turned it right side out, and of course I had to stitch this together. It had something to do with the pieces that I had left, and that's it. And so you just put it on, put it around, and then snap it. And I made, thanks to Trisha, the left-handed stitchers tutorial, I was able to make my grime guards. I often do things wrong the first time and then I have to redo it. So it takes me hours sometimes, especially if it involves sewing. I know how to sew. I've been sewing. I made myself skirts when I was 10 years old. My mother was a big machine sewer. So I remember making a dress that I didn't match the plaids on when I was in 7th grade. I didn't match the side plaids. Yeah. But anyway, I'm more of a hand stitcher. than I am a sewing machine person. The first time was just a crazy mistake. I somehow was reading her or watching her Q-snap tutorial. So I did these way too long, and I tried to bunch it up, and it does not work bunched up on this long frame. You have to have it laying pretty flat. And then she shows you how to put the elastic. See, it's got these little elastics on them. Now see, it'll bunch up this way, but when you have it stretched out on here, you must have it straight. So it will scoop to here over your fabric. And she does a good job with the tutorial. And I made this, I don't know how to make needle minders. So I just did a hand stitched one. But here's the beginning of His Eyes on the Sparrow. I am doing 1/2 on 32 count. It's possible this might be 30, but I'm pretty sure it's 32 count. I checked it. This is your Millennium frame, and you just tighten it like this. It tightens up nicely. And I did also learned by asking Nicole Parkman that you cannot, on a 36-inch frame, you cannot use longer than a 36-inch piece of fabric. Somehow I thought that I would be able to like turn it under or something. And I did that, and I had these big clips on the sides, and I got it kind of tight, but then it would always come loose. And no, you really need to cut it. And when I re-measured and recounted and everything, I did realize that I had plenty of room to cut this on the sides down. It was 38 inches wide. That was my problem. But yes, I was able to cut a couple inches off both sides. It's still going to fit, and I'm happy. And honestly, I would love to be working on that every day because I love the color changes. I love the motifs. Like many people have said, when you finish a motif, you get a sense of accomplishment. You finish something, yay. But I do like to move around and I want to work on all of my projects. So that's just what I'm gonna do. Folding this up, sticking it back there. Okay. And I started another biggie. This biggie is Smoky Mountain Christmas. That's a little picture of it. I downloaded this pattern from Patterns Online. I bought it and downloaded it. And it's funny. A funny thing about this is it says on the pages, like on this page 3, where the pattern starts, it says, this pattern is not complete. It is continued on pages 4 to 13. Y'all, every page it says that all the way through. It is continued on 8 to 13. So funny. It is continued on 5 to 13. I think I figured that out, but thanks for the reminder. And this has, so I started up in the sky. I counted this out. Nicola told me if I want to see how something's really going to look on the fabric, she said go to the middle and count out like 100. Like if your piece is 363 by 435, go to the middle, count out 100, measure that, and add, to up to 300, whatever, and mark it. So that's what I'm doing from now on. I'm just not used to large pieces. And then I was able to figure out about where it was going to be and start in the upper corner on page 1. I've done this much. I have not crossed it yet, but I'm going to do full crosses. I think Dina's almost finished with hers. And this is hard for me. It's not hard so much as it's tedious. because I've never parked, and I'm not a very good parker, and here's my parking on the back, kind of. You can see I have 1, 2, 3 threads going. And I just kind of leave them back there. Sometimes I pull them through to the front. Oh, I take it back. I got 4. There's one pulled through to the front. So, no, that's my, I think that's an extra one, 4. So I have some of the lighter blue. I'm not doing the white. The white I think is supposed to be a bead, but because this is going to be framed, I just want it to be all stitches. I know you can frame beads. I'm just more of a person for this one. I just want to do like the B5200 white stitches, and I don't think I'm going to do any embellishments. I am embellishing on my Santa pillow. I have some, I think there's some buttons, and I've got like a little scissors and a little snowflake. But this one I just want to be flat stitching. This is going to take forever. This is hours and hours in the car. I know that was like a 4-hour trip. I worked on it some more. That's a lot of time, and it's going to be a while. I kind of feel like Dina just knocked that out, but mine's not going to be knocked out. Like, here's a little tiny charm. I'm really segueing, but here's a little tiny charm that my shop owner bought several of these. So cute, stork scissors. I'm going to put that on my Santa. Okay, next we have, looking it up. So that was Smoky Mountain Christmas. Worked on my Santa again. Then I worked on my 18th century sampler by Susan Johnson. This is an online course. I showed you the book last time, and it's in the other room right now, but she does a wonderful job on this course. Great illustrations. It's also a stitch along online. Since last we met, I finished these squares. These are Smyrna crosses around all these squares. And this is a full lace motif square that I started a couple nights ago. I think that's all I've done since you saw it last time. I really need to work on this. Okay. And I'm doing this with a buddy. My buddy is she's about here too. We're doing well together. I like the Q-snaps. I think I mentioned that before too. Q-snaps are good. And I'd like to get that off the Q-snaps so I could use them for something else. Okay, what else was I going to tell you about? Okay, the Needlework Market. Who wants to see what I got from my shop owner when we went to the Needlework Market? It was at the Embassy Suites in Nashville, which is a huge, I don't know if y'all have all been to Embassy Suites. I had not been before. And it's got a big atrium, and all around you see the like 6 or 7 floors. We were on the 5th floor. I think there were 6 or 7. I know there was a 6th. And the like when you're walking around in the hallway, you can just look down into the atrium. So all of the designers stuck their banners over, so you could look up and you could see a banner that said Heartstring Sampler. You could see Hands Across the Sea samplers. You could see Weeks Dye Works, Picture This Plus, everything. With My Needle and Thread, Nikki's Creations. Everybody was there. I can't even think of all the ones that were there, but it was most everything you've heard of. And so we had a booklet, and we marked which ones we wanted to go see. And my shop owner friend really wants to, we don't have, like I mentioned before, we don't have a market here in Atlanta, and she really wanted to supply linen through her home-based / online shop at the moment. She's considering a brick and mortar. She used to have a brick and mortar yarn and mixed media shop in another state. So the first place we went to was Picture This Plus, and it was a madhouse. That was on the first night, which is a preview night. So certain people opened up for that, and there was a big run on the Picture This Plus fabric. You can only imagine. Shop owners were getting stacks of fabric. And what else did we went to several places that night, and then the next day it really started, and we went and stood in line for 2 hours to get into With Thy Needle and Thread. I'm going to show you what I have here to show you. I believe the first place I asked her to, look at that I wanted to go look at was Rosewood Manor, and she got a couple of these kits. This is the new baskets sampler. They had this made up, and it had the packet with the Valdani thread. It was just gorgeous. I'll take it out. This was made up, and it was beautiful. When am I going to get this done? Who knows? But look at that. Look at that thread. That is so nice. Okay, so we have that. I don't know where we went next, but this pattern I've seen on Facebook a lot. I don't know when this came out, but I always wanted to do it. I want to put this in my craft room. Have you done this pattern? I like that. It's Kathy Barrick. It's cute. I got this for when I get my antique samplers all framed. There was somebody there with antique samplers. Oh, they were all framed in old frames, and they were really expensive, like $1,600, stuff like that. Never paid that much for them. But they were nicely done. I mean, they're a nice dealer. Had a good talk with them about frames and everything. This is a little sampler house one, and I want to put that with my samplers. You could put it with reproduction samplers. It's just so cute. You could put it with Little House Needleworks motif type, the smaller ones around it, because they're sampler motifs. They're little houses and their trees and their dogs and their flowers. It's just cute. And I got another Kathy Barrick. I should have kept these in order. Here's another Kathy Barrick that I believe I saw this made up, and it's just so old-fashioned and gorgeous and historical and lovely. So I want to make that. This is my friend Nicola Parkman. She and I are buddies on Facebook. I got to meet her. She's so sweet. And I got to meet Barbara Hudson of Queenstown Samplers. They shared a room. This is Nicola's. She has the most beautiful samplers, reproduction samplers. Beautiful, beautiful. This one is a stitch along right now. And this is Barbara's. I already had this. This is a stitch along with Barbara's. I got all my thread and I changed that to like a teal green. It's really pretty. Really pretty. And Barbara said she thought that sounded good. Here's a cute pattern. Oh, y'all. I know they've done several like this, but this is so cute. I just loved it. We got several of these. If anybody is interested in my friend's website, she has these for sale. She bought a bunch of things back, hopefully to sell at our Sampler Guild retreat. But how cute is that? Really cute. And oh gosh, I just turned that upside down. This is some of some of the threads. This is really pretty. This is called, I think that's Snowflake. Double check. I think it's Snowflake, but it's, yeah, Snowflake. But it's got like really light pink and light blue in it. This is Weeks. The Weeks people were pulling like gazillions of threads for people. My shop owner got gazillions of threads. And so that goes with that praiseworthy stitches. And with By Needle and Thread, she bought a lot of With By Needle and Thread patterns. So I like this one. I think she bought 8 of these. Cute, 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 cute. Cute, cute. And then this Linda Vinson, who does Needle Made Designs, I spoke with her. She's a nice designer, and what she talked to the Needlework Press lady. I don't know if y'all are familiar with her, but if you Google Needlework Press, she has really interesting articles on there about how she buys samplers for the Ackworth School in England. And it's fascinating. I mean, it is fascinating. She goes and bids at auctions, and they're just trying to get back a lot of the school samplers that are out there in the public domain, and really cool. And they're kind of like, I guess maybe they're kind of like, they're like Quaker. I don't know if there's, I forget if there's like a Quaker connection, but this was so cute. She had this all made up. This is part 3, but I'll show you. This is what you're supposed to end up with. And the guy, I think she said this guy was down in Louisiana who made these, and he quit making them. So I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to that part, but here's part 1. Here's part 2. Anyway, she got permission from the lady who does, let me double check this. I think her name's on here. Linda got permission from Jacqueline Holdsworth of Needleprint. Maybe it's Needleprint. I thought it was Needleprint for the motifs in her book that she published. So this is done on 40 count Lakeside vintage green slate linen. I don't have that. I'll have to get that later. And I don't think I need very much, but she uses a lot of what I don't have, which is silks. And I think after talking, I know I said on my first one that I was wary of silk, and I may be changing my mind a little bit, because those people who had the antique samplers, all of that was done with silk, and they said they felt like the silk nowadays, things are so acid free, and it's just less likely to have problems with getting eaten and everything. And I don't know, maybe I'm changing my mind a little bit. I may use silk on some things. I might use silk on that, where, I don't know, I'll let you know. The jury's out on that. But I'm still learning about silk, cotton, which, etc. This is Giulia Antici from Italy. She does those cute, if you've seen them, those little pincushion dolls. She's done a whole lot of them. And she had this little pillow made up. So we got some of these kits. And she had a fabric and lace kit. So really all you're doing is you're cross-stitching this, and then you're making this little pillow. And it was so cute, y'all. And the kit included this, and you know, it was really a decent price. And you can stick your, you can stick your scissors. Oh, the little finishing kit included the scissors and these little wooden floss holders. So those are adorable. And my shop owner is going to carry these. Julia was so sweet and got our picture taken with her. She's very, you know, particular about what she uses, and I thought her prices were really good. Beautiful lady. She and the girl who's her friend or her partner, somebody who was helping her, had on the most gorgeous cameos. they were like this big. You know, Italy is known for making cameos, but these cameos were so dimensional. Like it just looked like the carving was just coming out from that cameo. I have one. Let me see. Hold on one second. It may be right here, and there's a funny reason why it's here. It is. Here's my cameo. But mine is small in comparison to theirs, but I like it. Okay, I know I said only stitching, but that kind of applies because I'm talking about a stitching designer wearing her cameo, right? Okay. That concludes the Nashville Market. The ladies were all nice. I talked to Elizabeth, who is from Dames of the Needle, who does beautiful dyed fabric. She's very sweet, and she's from here in Atlanta. Just a nice weekend. We were busy. We worked hard. I was helping the shop owner. And last couple of things. Okay, now I'm at the end, so I'm going to show my basket in case anybody wanted to know or was interested to know if I got my knob, and I did. Look at it. Look at that scrimshaw. It's got the cutest little basket with hydrangea on it. And then I just have to glue it in. And then here's my little button. Y'all can do these too. I told you I only do it once a year, and they help you a lot. And also, in case anybody wonders about my my china that fell when the bottom of my sideboard fell out, I lost 23 pieces. I didn't do anything with it for 3 weeks. I couldn't face it until I think it was not this past Monday, but the Monday before. And when did it happen? Around Valentine's? Yeah, I was just, ugh. But the good news is, I had picked up here and there a lot of plates. So I have plenty of dinner plates, plenty of salad plates, and I only lost some unique pieces that I could get through replacements if I wanted to. One of my favorite ones, I got this at a thrift store. I love this. It's just the top of a soup tureen, but look, it's the full cow, and look, you can see his ribs. And what broke, I'm just sick. This isn't even my china. It's just something I got. It just broke right there. See that? See right there. I think that could be fixed. I don't know how, if anybody has any ideas, but I'm also looking for a soup tureen that this will fit on. I just can't give him up. I looked all online everywhere. I couldn't find another one like him. And I don't think he's old. I thought maybe Williams Sonoma or something, Pottery Barn, but couldn't find him anywhere. So I just couldn't throw him away, even though he had a little tiny crack in him. My clock that I talked about last time, got the right key. It wasn't a 9, it was an 11. Mr. Bowers brought it for me, and it's running. It's got a very tinny sound. I don't think it's gone off since we've been in here, and it's wrong. These old clocks don't really keep good time. My husband's like, we paid to get that thing fixed, and it doesn't keep good time. I thought that's what we were doing it for. Apparently not. But, hey, we have our iPhones, right? I think that concludes my session today. Wow, 44 minutes. If anybody has any questions, feel free to comment below. Please subscribe. I love my subscribers. I love my comments. Thank y'all. Gosh, I almost hear my glasses run. I'm about to tear up. I'm not usually a very emotional person, but thank you. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you later. Happy stitching.